He slammed his cards on the table, hard, not loud enough to break anything, but just enough to make everyone look up. A low growl of breath came from his chest, half a sigh, half a warning. His brows were tight, his lips even tighter. No one said a word. We all kept pretending to play. My sister glanced at me. My brother looked down. The game was supposed to be fun. That's what I kept telling myself. This was the first time in a long time that all 5 of us were in the same room. Not over a phone call or through a screen. A rare visit, something that should have felt warm. But there he was, ruining it. Again. Every time someone cracked a joke, he grunted. When someone won a round, he made a sarcastic remark. A storm cloud in human form, slowly darkening the night. And I could feel it, tight in my chest, like I was holding my breath in my own home. I'm 16, still live here, still have to navigate the mood swings and emotional landmines. My sister's 27, my brother's 25. They've escaped, moved out, made their own lives. But me, I'm still here, under the weight of his moods, his silence, his passive-aggressive sighs that drain the joy out of everything. I tried to ignore it, tried to tell myself, he's just in a bad mood. I even tried to remember what he was mad about. Couldn't. Probably something stupid. Some disagreement with Mom earlier in the day, or the fact that he was losing this silly board game. But the thing is, it wasn't the first time. It wasn't even the 10th. It's a pattern, one that's been quietly tightening its grip on all of us for years. He sulks. He pouts. He doesn't like losing. He doesn't like being disagreed with. And he sure as hell doesn't like being told he's wrong. He huffed again, louder this time. The energy in the room shifted. My sister's smile faltered. My brother leaned back in his chair, his jaw clenched, and I snapped. I didn't plan it. I didn't even raise my voice. But the words flew out of me with a force I didn't know I had. Stop acting childish. Shut the hell up and stop ruining everybody's evening. Silence. Time stopped. He stared at me like I had just slapped him. And in a way, I guess I had. Not with my hands, but with something worse. To him. Disrespect. You're the child here. He spat, his face red. You should realize who you're talking to. Then he stood up, stormed off to his room, and slammed the door behind him. He didn't come out. Not for the rest of the night. Not a word. Not a glance. I sat there, my heart pounding. My sister slowly exhaled. My brother gave me a look. Not of shock, not of disapproval, but of understanding. I thought maybe I crossed a line. But maybe that line had been crossed by him a long time ago. Later, Mom cornered me in the kitchen. She wasn't yelling. She didn't have to. You just made him more mad for no reason, she said quietly. You should have just left it alone. That's what she always says. Keep the peace. Don't provoke him. Walk on eggshells. Don't make him mad. I didn't argue with her. I just nodded. But inside, I was screaming. Because I have tried being kind. I've tried speaking gently. I've tried asking him, politely, respectfully, not to ruin moments. To please just let us have one good evening. But when I speak softly, he laughs me off. Tells me I don't know anything. That I'm just a kid. To him, I'm always less than. My age, my voice, my feelings, they're all just noise to him. Unless I hit hard. So I did. And suddenly, he listened. Not the way I hoped. Not with understanding. But at least he shut up. At least he left the room. For once, the rest of us could breathe. But now I wonder, did I become him in the process? He's the parent. I get that. And I do respect him, usually. But respect is a two-way street. And there comes a moment when even a child has to ask, how much silence is too much? How many moments does one man get to ruin before someone says, enough? That night, my brother and sister sat with me on the porch. No one said much. But then my sister spoke. "You weren't wrong," she said. "You just said what we've all wanted to say for years." My brother nodded. He needed to hear it. And that felt like something I've waited a lifetime to hear. But the guilt still lingers. I didn't swear. Not exactly. I translated from my native language, so maybe the English version sounds harsher than what I said. But the feeling was the same. I had had enough of the mood swings, of the guilt trips, of the silence that chokes the air in our house. I've been expected to act older, more mature, more patient, because he refuses to. I've been taught to tiptoe, to shrink, to be the emotional sponge for a grown man who never learned to handle his own frustrations. And I'm done. But still, I hear his voice echoing in my head. "You're the child." And I wonder, does that mean I don't get to speak? That I don't get to defend the joy of my family when he poisons it? Is standing up to my father an act of disrespect? Or is it an act of self-respect? I don't know. All I know is, my siblings, the ones who got out, who built lives free of his moods, they didn't think I was wrong. They stood beside me, and maybe that's all I needed. To know I'm not crazy. To know I'm not alone in feeling this way. Still, I wish things were different. I wish he could have just sat down and played the game. I wish he could have laughed. I wish he could have let us have that moment. But he couldn't. And maybe he never will. So, am I the asshole? Was I wrong to finally speak up? To protect a fragile family moment that he's ruined so many times before? Or did I just do what had to be done? You tell me. Because honestly, I'm still figuring it out. And now, a word from the host. This one's hard. Not because it's unclear, but because it's all too familiar. The silent dinners. The tension in the air. The way one person's storm becomes everyone else's weather. What we saw here wasn't just a teenager lashing out. It was a child growing tired of being the emotional grown-up. It was a son realizing that silence won't save the moment. That sometimes you have to risk the fallout to protect what's left. And that's a heavy thing to carry at 16. But here's the truth. Age doesn't always equal maturity. And being a parent doesn't make you immune to being called out. Emotional responsibility isn't about titles. It's about actions. And sometimes, the most respectful thing you can do is say, enough. So now I ask you, our listeners, have you ever been the one who broke the silence? The one who stopped tiptoeing? The one who said the hard thing? Or are you still waiting for someone else to say it first? Let us know in the comments. And remember, no matter who you are, child, parent, sibling, your voice matters, even when it shakes.